Hello, and welcome to our first official podcast of Don't Cry for Me, Quarentina.
The truth is I haven't left my bedroom in quite a while. Oh, what a sad existence.
And that is so. Hey,
it's
girl.
So true. I'm getting very used to this room.
You know, I'm getting my eyes are starting to feel like they're about to pop out of sockets because I'm looking at so many screens lately.
Seriously.
So, hey,
tell me, before we start, everything else, tell me how you have been. What's going on? What happened this week?
Well, currently I am sipping on a, blended margarita. It's absolutely delicious. Me and my sister broke a tiny little rule and went to the liquor store and got ourselves a fifth of tequila and a big bucket of margaritas and froze them overnight. And so now she's still working on some of her schoolwork because she's a special education sort of data planner, if you will. And I'm down here talking to your beautiful face, sipping on a margarita. So we're both sipping on margaritas in different places. But, I'm doing okay. I'm missing a couple of people today. I'm really missing some of my coworkers. But I have been listening to Lady Gaga music all day because she's coming out with a new album tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. Yes, I know. My gay is showing. Hoopty.
a bit. Ain't no prep for that, sugar.
But that clocks me tonight at 9 p.m. So for those of you who are Lady Gaga fans, I hope you're going to be listening tonight or, well, I guess it's this morning because we're pre-recording this, mind you.
Don't run into our veil of wisdom.
Yes. No, more so I've been looking at the positive things, for me, because narcissism is the new black in this quarantine, I guess. But, avoiding TV as much as I can, having conversations with people I haven't had in a while, philosophical or, pretty boring things, if you will. How's your mother? Say hey to your folks, shit like that, But I'm more so just kind of been missing that connection with people. I've been missing that sort of, I'm pretty good at one-on-ones. I don't know. Maybe you can speak on that as somebody who's been on the opposite side of the one-on-one.
Well, since you asked, yeah. I'm fine too.
Well, no, but I'm missing. Well, I'm missing that sort of one-on-one conversation with people, not just behind the bar, but people I love, people who I know are going through things that. Yes, it's easy to reach out, but it's also hard to sort of spread that genuine feeling around.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are difficult to discuss over the phone as opposed to face-to-face. And I'm sure a lot of us out here are feeling things that we would prefer to talk to somebody we love and trust about to their face rather than over the phone.
Right. Well, I do think that there's something about being in the same room as someone, I do feel like there's something about, looking into somebody's eyes and experiencing the same emotion that they're experiencing. And we're good at it because we've been friends for 10 plus years, gosh. But it's hard for people who still are trying to maintain human connections with people who they don't know specifically super well, over the phone or even over a webcam,
Yeah.
When you're not in the same room with someone, that energy is kind of hard to exchange,
It is.
So that's where I'm at, that's what I'm, nothing big, just,
just existential crises, no big deal.
Yeah, just a small smack roll of an existential crisis in the middle of, my late 20s, How about you, babe? How are you doing?
Like you heard in our opening jingle, I'm getting very used to being in my room. I've had the misfortune to not only be unable to go to work or to my theater or teach my classes, I've also actually been sick, and not with COVID-19, with something else, but it's been a bummer. And so not only am I restricted to my house, I am now restricted to my room. to keep the rest of my household safe. So let me tell you something. It's been an adventure. I've learned a lot about myself. Had some internal fights, some internal forgivings. Learned a lot about who Dyani is, what Dyani wants.
Sure.
How much my forehead itches.
I think everybody's third eye is a little itchy right now.
It really is.
You're like Brie Larson in Room, but without a kid.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll go ahead and thank my
Except
stars.
for instead of a rapist, the person who visits you every day is a narcissistic gay boy. With an undying
don't do yourself a disservice and align yourself with him. I mean, you're a bit better than a rapist, I think. Pretty sure.
I mean, maybe. I'm white and I'm a male, so there isn't really anything, all the heads that are turning right now. Anyway.
So what are we listening to? Welcome to our podcast, everyone.
Thank
you so much for being here.
Hi.
How are you guys
doing? Well, thanks for chiming in to this beautiful little phone call that we are having right now, and putting on the internet for everyone to listen to.
Boy.
So here we are. So we've got a couple of things that we want to discuss today. Yes, Dyani?
Yes, we do. The first one is very exciting, very topical. I'm sure you all have heard something about it. It's probably been running across your Facebook feeds for a while now, last couple of weeks, I believe. Jimmy, what have we got for the people today?
Well, for the people today, we are discussing Tiger King. Wow!
Meow! Meow! Oh boy.
Sorry guys, we don't have a soundboard, so we're making our own.
We really don't, yeah.
So we are talking about Tiger King today. Theory, not just theory, but what it's doing to society, what it's doing to the internet, what it's doing to your mother, what it's doing to the country, really, and anybody else who's witnessed it outside of these American walls.
I can't imagine what people overseas are thinking of Americans. Oh yeah, I watched it. The whole thing. The whole thing.
So, what do you think about it? What are your thoughts and feelings about the whole entire thing?
I found it just as a standalone piece of performance art. Can you call it that? As a standalone piece.
Sure.
It's been fascinating, not only because there are simultaneous moments in my brain where I'm like, this is the most bananas cream pudding thing. What is happening? Who are these people? What a hole did they all crawl out of? And at the same time being like, oh, that guy looks like my cousin.
Well, when I first read the description of what the documentary was about, I thought it was a Tinder ad for my ex-husband. I was just like, oh my God, is that you, Daddy? Is that you? Polyamory, large animals, fraudulent acts. It's all up Chardonnay's alley, girl. We all know.
My gosh.
So
dear.
I honestly thought it was a Tinder ad, and then I clicked on it, and then I realized it was a documentary. And so I can't say that I enjoyed it, but I was enthralled with it. You know what I mean? It was something that caught my fancy, but not necessarily a fancy I like to talk about. Floating fancies, as we talked about in the previous introduction.
Right.
I thought it was cool because it wasn't shocking for me though. I think that a lot of people were shocked of there's a polyamorous gay throuple that owns a bunch of fucking cats, and they're feeding a bunch of meth addicts to it that nobody cares about who are off the grid. You know what I mean? That's not super shocking to me that that's happening in our country. The only thing that I found shocking about the entire thing, the only one thing that I found shocking was that there are more tigers in captivity than there are in the wild. That was something that I was not 100% aware of. I honestly was a little what the fuck? Are white people really that hungry for power? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was
that's
shocking.
kind of how I felt about the whole thing. Like, it wasn't stupid. It was enticing. It was juicy. You know, it was almost so human that it seemed fake. But I think that's why we all kind of could relate to it, was because, like, we know that crazy gay dude in a shiny shirt, like, making out with a bunch of dudes trying to, like, steal everyone's money. Like, I certainly know that guy. Yeah. Well, I think we all do. You know, we all have one of those girls, fellas, people, humans in our community. Some of us have made out with them. Some of us haven't, you know. Some of us just read about it on Facebook or read or watch Netflix events about it. But and, you know, if you don't know somebody like that, maybe it's time for a good look in the mirror. Yeah. I mean, amen, sis. You know, you're like, if you're the person who's saying, well, I guess I don't really know anyone like that, girl, take a peek. Yeah. And do something about the mullet. Yeah. Oh, my God. Cut that thing. Anyway. So as far as, I feel like the biggest topic of discussion about Tiger King, I mean, there's so many things that people, but I think the biggest thing is did Carol Baskin kill her husband and feed him to the tigers? Everybody's talking about it. Everybody is falling somewhere on the side of the fence. And, you know. I mean, okay, before I go off on my, like, and, like, everyone's going to be like, oh, Jeannie, you're just trying to be a hipster. And I'm like, no, girl, that was 2012. Check the sweatpants. Like, check the joggers, check the knit hat, and check the iPhone 3. Like, okay, that was so forever ago. For me, like, it's not because I'm trying to go against the grain. Like, I'm not trying to rebel. I really don't think. Okay. I'm not, I guess I can't say that I don't think. I'm not 100% convinced that Carol Baskin killed her husband, fed him to tigers, and then, like, you know, just, like, kept on continuing on her. You know, I don't see it. I mean, she's a little kooky. She's a little weird. You know, she's got some secrets. I mean, everybody's got secrets. But, like, I don't understand, like, why everyone's just like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah, she killed her, when there's, like, barely been any evidence to conclude that, like, she killed him, you know? So that's where I'm at. I don't know. That's understandable. I mean, I don't really, I feel that I don't have enough information. Even though I did watch the entire series, something tells me that all of the evidence pertaining to every pending court case involved in the series has not been displayed for all of America to watch in entertainment. I'm sure there are details that we're not privy to, and just that like is where, though. Yeah, and that is where the conclusion to all of those questions lie, is in the spots that we're probably not going to see until it's over. Well, I feel like we will. I mean, there's a couple of new episodes coming out on Netflix soon. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah. And they reopened the case of Carol Baskin's husband. Disappearance. Homicide case. I guess it's an active homicide case now again. It was a cold case, now it's an active homicide case from this article I read last night. Amazing what national publicity will get you, eh? Well, I mean, yeah, that, and I just feel like, I mean, it's just another media pig, you know, that they're about to slaughter and serve us for fucking breakfast, you know? Yay! You know, like, that's how I feel about that. But I mean, I like them heavily peppered. I mean, color me a hypocrite. I mean, I'm enjoying the fuck out of this. I don't know. I'm having a good time with it. Like, it's not like I'm just like, America's trash. Like, I'm trash. I'm a different kind of white trash, you know. Like, but like, I enjoy this shit. Well, we're all different kinds of trash. No, but my thing is like, if that's the thing that people took from the whole entire thing, was that Carol Baskin killed her husband, like, they're not really looking at everything else. Like, you know, one of Joe Exotic's husbands killing himself, I feel like, was a big deal. You know, I mean, I was just feel like there were so many things. Yeah. Well, I mean, he was kind of off camera, or did they just not show it on the thingy? No, the security camera, I think, was pointed at the bookkeeper fella who was watching him, and I think he was actually under the camera. Something you didn't actually. I feel like he was the most well-spoken person in the entire article. Oh, he for sure was. Or in the entire thing, you know. In the entire show, I felt like that fellow. I mean, God, I didn't memorize everyone's names. If you did, then you'd get a fucking life out there. But, you know, I mean, I just feel like that fellow was really the most well-spoken and honest about everything. Everyone's talking about how, like, that toothless, that toothless little straight boy, you know,
John.
who was like,
John.
well, I guess it could. Yeah, John. I wonder if that's how he turned him too. He's like, well, I guess if I like the bigger dick in the vagina, I'm a homosexual. I guess, like, that was the one thing, like, that I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've turned to many a tables. But, like, I'm trying to be, you know. But, like, I've never, like, looked at a person and been like, well, if you like the bigger penis inside of the vagina, then you might be a homosexual. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's never been my pickup line. And, like, however that fellow, like, got that cute little boy, you know, and that, no, I mean, is that not something that's totally mind-boggling to you? Anyway.
I think some of the principle of that, well, not the principle, probably the practice, but my understanding was that Joe Exotic was providing an addict with his drug of choice, and in exchange,
I mean, that's all hearsay.
Intimacy.
It was marijuana, but I mean, like, other people are saying it was methamphetamine.
There are easier ways to get hot, kids.
I mean, there are easier ways to get hot. I mean, like, I get it. Like, there was these straight boys with this older gentleman were enticing, they were younger. I feel like there's a whole different topic to talk about is that specific dynamic. Yeah, the whole dynamic is a totally different conversation to have. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like drugs are a terrible thing, and if that's the reason why that boy was there, then that's absolutely disgusting of Joe Exotic to
take advantage of that,
and do that, and take advantage of that, take advantage of people. I mean, I don't give a shit how lonely you are. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I know what it's like to be a lonely homo, but, like, I'm not going to entice somebody with methamphetamines and, like, fucking tigers just to, like, you know.
It's a very specific cocktail.
Find me a man. Like, I ain't trying to get me a man with a big-ass fucking cat. Like, I don't know, Joe Exotic, I have to inform you about something. Gay boys really don't like pussy. So, like, you can have a hard time finding you a real-ass husband getting a pussy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway. But enough about theory. What do you think that this is doing for... What do you think this is doing? Like, you know, what is happening? Your angle? What is your angle on this whole
melee?
This whole
phenomenon?
Thing. Yes, this quarantine phenomenon. Like, what do you think it is? Seriously.
So,
do you think everyone's so batshit bananas, cream pudding, crazy over it, as you would say?
Yeah. Well, that does sound like me. Well, like I said, the strange thing about the show is it manages to mix fantastic ridiculousness, Alice in Wonderland type of stuff with the absolute mundanity of real life that everybody can relate to. Like, everybody has a boss who didn't want to cover their arm being eaten. But
well, I mean, like, I feel like it was the most American experience I've had, like, to date. No, I'm kidding. But but you know what I mean? Like, that was one of the most American things that I think have ever been produced ever. Like, this documentarist, like, or whatever the fucking proper term is for it, God bless, watched these people for 5 years that didn't say shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, like, what? Like, this guy knew what this was going to do to all of us, I feel, which is kind of brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the release timing is kind of amazing. I mean, everybody's at home. Everybody needs something to distract them from the horror that is the pandemic and what it's creating for our day-to-day lives between, you know, terror and crippling boredom. And it just right there in everybody's lap. There it is, Tiger King. You kids watch this fun-filled journey, and that. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got an opinion on it now. I mean, people who haven't watched it are telling people that they haven't watched it, but they know what it's about. They still have a feeling.
They still feel connected to this documentary, even if they haven't watched it. Even if, like, they couldn't give a flying fuck. Even if they're trying to deflate their ego. I don't even know what people wouldn't watch this for, because it's goddamn juicy ass trash. And you know you love it. Get the fuck over yourself and watch this documentary. But anyway, I just feel like that when it comes to, like, why people are so interested in it is because it actually is quite realistic, Mm-hmm. I don't find it to be too off the cuff. I just feel like people live their day-to-days all the time, that they don't understand that there's something else outside of themselves. No offense.
I mean, that is their normal, and we have our own version of our normal. So
yeah, I'm sure that somebody who was raising a bunch of big old fucking tigers would look at us and be like, what are you doing bartending all day? What are you doing helping people with their eyes all day? You know what I mean? I feel like that would be like, they'd be like, what the fuck? Like hashtag YOLO? I don't know. But the internet's going absolutely shit. That's crazy. No?
Yeah, it is. It's really interesting. Were I an anthropologist, right?
If bars were open, I wouldn't believe how many fist fights I'd have to break up about this shit. I feel like people are talking more about fucking Tiger King than they are goddamn the election,
Yeah, and there's probably some degree of truth to that, which isn't great.
Like people are straight up Googling things about the Tiger King more than they are Googling things about foreign policy. I mean, don't you feel like that's like... I don't know. Not to be like pretentious. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not sitting on my days off smoking a blunt, like drinking a margarita, Googling foreign fucking policy. Like, I'm not trying to be that person who's doing that. I'm just saying, like...
Nice soapbox there, Chief.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be hypocritical. I mean, I'm just saying, like, maybe I could be Googling foreign policy. Googling, like...
Maybe you could.
Maybe this is the coming to Jesus moment.
You just realize you have to be more active in figuring this out.
The Tiger King. Helping your existential crisis come too close. No.
Brother.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that people are, it's like a life or death situation. Carol Baskin, did she do it? Did she not do it? And I'm just like, I love that it's a distraction, but I'm just like, people are taking that shit way too seriously.
Well, I mean, when you're either as an essential worker, as one of the medical personnel that have to go to work, that are completely necessary to keep us okay. I mean, coming home from that every day, I mean, sometimes you just want to watch something fluffy instead of another politician's speech.
That
I mean,
fluffy,
I can get
girl.
that.
That is not fluffy. I mean, like...
I mean, fluffy tigers.
The Kardashians.
Fluffy tigers.
The Kardashians are fluffy. Okay? The Tiger King is real American issues. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just, at the end of the day, like, could we be doing something more constructive with our time than Tiger King? Yes. Are we talking a half an hour during our podcast about this? Yes. Is it something that makes everyone, is it something that makes us feel connected as human beings?
Well, yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. And it's great. I just wish that there were more important things. But this is a great catalyst to bringing this all together. So.
It is.
My regards to Netflix. Netflix, bringing families together. Since 2003? 4? No, who knows?
I don't remember. Netflix, by the way, everybody listening to this bizarre conversation, they are not a producer of our podcast. Yes. They're not a sponsor. They're not funding us. I mean, they could.
The only thing that's sponsoring this podcast, honey, are our egos. That's the only thing that's sponsoring. You know that to be true. So, cheers to us religion people want to listen to what we have to say.
We can tell ourselves.
But, hey, I mean, maybe we're really just recording this for us, so in the future, we can look back on this and, like, be like, hey, everyone, remember this? Like, I don't even know. Like,
remember when we talked for a half an hour about Tiger King? Oh, were we just rosy-cheeked youngins back then?
Good stuff, my dear. Good stuff. I mean, so at the end of the day, what's our closing thought on Tiger King for the time being? I mean, we can touch on it again.
I'm sure we're going to have to if updates are going to keep coming. I mean, they're going to investigate the murder. They're going to get him acquitted for the whatever he's in jail for. I'm sure there's going to be updates as we go along, so we're going to have to mention it at some point. But for the minute, I think it's great that there is something that is a vague lattice work of unifying metaphor, further metaphor words,
and for those
that are connecting
of you who are wanting to chime in on this conversation, please comment, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or SoundCloud, because those are our platforms for the time being. We may change that, just so everyone knows.
Let us know what you think.
Please, let us know what you think. I want to know what you think, because, I mean, yes, we care what we think, but we're doing this because we really want to know what you think. So please, but keep it clean, keep it cute, don't
keep it classy.
Gouge each other's eyes out. Don't rub each other's bodies with sardine oil and feed it to your fucking cat. you know.
As just a boilerplate agreement. Just don't do that.
God knows. Fluffy is not going to be able to eat that whole thing. And then you're going to have half of an entire body. And you're going to know what to do with that shit. So
nobody needs that kind of headache.
She would do. Yeah, ask Carol Baskin what she would do, and then come back to us. But anyway, so talk about it in the comment section. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. Please.
I feel I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where my feelings are at. I just feel like I don't know enough, and at the same time I know too much because, like I mentioned before, I've been in my room with my laptop and my smartphone for company. So
sure.
It's
and
hard.
me.
And you, yes. Thank goodness you're here.
Your enthusiasm is delicious. Your enthusiasm is delicious.
Thank goodness you're here. Yeah. Anyway, Tiger King, unifying entertainment or irritating distraction.
You decide.
It's you decide. Yeah, you let the people speak.
Because clearly we haven't decided, so we're not really sure.
We're not really sure.
That is fun to talk about.
He's like Lisa Frank come to life. It's entertaining.
Seriously, I thought it was a Tinder ad, girl. I'm not kidding you. I was like, who crossed their wires? Tinder? Like, what? Are we like shooting movies for ourselves now and putting them on an app? Ooh. That's a good idea.
Ooh, next project.
Make an entire self-biography movie and put it on an app.
Oh, no.
I am TV.
Oh.
I am Tinder.
Gross.
So anyway.
So do you think we've covered all of our current thoughts on Tiger King? Shall we move on to our next point of order?
I feel like that we've said everything that we need to say about Tiger King for the time being. I mean, just, I'm happy that there are people discussing about it, but this is my final thought on the whole entire thing, bringing it a full swing Jerry Springer moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Final thought with Jimmy. My final thought on it is that please just be nice to each other when you're talking about what you think happened, because you really don't fucking know. Don't be the person who thinks that you know what you're talking about. That's just gross. It's not cute. So keep your options open. Keep your ideas, fresh. Keep them, don't be stubborn about it is really what I'm trying to say. Don't be stubborn about your own personal ideas. This is an opportunity for you to literally think. You're home alone all the time. So all you have to do is literally be inside of your own head. So immerse yourself in that and really think about if this is that important.
Therein lies the crux, isn't it? Yeah.
Crux in flux.
Yep. Acid. Reflux.
Pressed.
Nunt. Yeah, I agree. You guys, we have seen an example of what loose and unorganized anger does on the average person who may or may not have a couple of endangered species in their backyard. Don't follow their example.
Are you calling me out? I feel like a person attacked right now.
No, I mean
get the hose. Sorry.
Drink from the hose tap.
I know you were getting serious. I'm sorry.
Oh,
we can't take fucking margaritas. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you need to calm down there.
So,
me time is over, Jimmy. Let me express my thoughts. What was I thinking? Quick.
Oh my God.
Right. We've seen the example of cruelty and unfounded violence and anger, because I'm sure all of the issues that these respective people involved in this series could have been sorted out with just a nice table talk. Everybody sits down, has a nice cup of green tea, has a chat, say, look, I don't appreciate what you're doing with the tech. Okay, yes, I got that, but this is why I'm doing this, and if this problem was solved,
honey,
then
if you're
this
writing a
wouldn't be an
Nicholas
issue.
Sparks movie, if you're writing a Nicholas Sparks movie, maybe, but honey, that ain't the way the world works. Let's be realistic. I don't think that people could have solved this over some white rose kombucha and a margarita, is what I'm getting at.
Well, we're going to.
Clearly they couldn't. Clearly they couldn't solve it down over a cup of tea because the motherfucker apparently tried to kill her.
Well, they didn't get invited to have a cup of tea to chat about their issues. What I'm saying is that they didn't do that. They didn't reach out and do the diplomatic thing. Instead, they got excited with drone planes and shooting blow-up dolls. So what I'm asking our audience is,
weird.
Please don't do that.
Cringe. Yeah, don't do that to each other.
Find productive ways to express and resolve your anger rather than showing a video of how to tie a noose for a dummy with a bad wig.
Have a virtual dance site instead. Yeah.
Yes.
Do a virtual dance site. Yeah. I feel like that's a little bit more productive, a little bit more clean.
Yeah, I do.
And a little bit more progressive American, if you will. No. Put your guns away. Just pull out your disco, baby, and move them hips.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? So now that we've covered all of that.
Lennon tried. Yes, now that we've covered all that.
Now that we've covered all that. The other thing we're going to talk about today is events that have been canceled. Now, I don't know the single person who hasn't had something they were looking forward to canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And don't get me wrong, it was necessary. I'm not bad-mouthing the administrators who made that policy. I'm not.
Girl.
I'm just going to say that I'm a little bit frustrated.
Yes. No, I'm a little bit frustrated too. There are a couple of things. I mean, like, at a total first world space, when it comes to everything that's been canceled, yours is a little bit more larger, in my opinion, than mine. But for me, it's like, my golden birthday, my 29th birthday. And then I was hosting bingo every Sundays. And then we were going to start kind of transforming that into a Chardonnay event. So it was going to be kind of my, like, getting back on the heels, kind of stretching my legs, hosting abilities to kind of get back into the projects that I wanted to tackle for the rest of the year. So for me, it was like we were doing this bingo at Crossbuck every Sunday afternoon. And then, like, my 29th birthday, which I've been looking forward to since I was 14. No joke, that's my mother. Like, I typically don't give a shit about my birthday. I maybe threw, like, one birthday for myself when I was 23 years old, and it was a disaster.
Yeah, I remember that.
But it was. I mean, we had a good time. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, like, it was a disaster. So I mean, but anyway, it was more so like I just wanted it to be like my last birthday that I gave a shit about. And then I was just going to stop giving a shit about my birthday until I was like 100. Because we all know with this skin, honey.
Right, yeah.
that
coconut oil.
That Irish inbreeding. But anyway, I just feel like those things are nearly not anywhere near important than the things that I've been hearing about being canceled. You know. But it's helping me relate. It's helping me relate with those people who are having things that are important than being canceled. You know. So I can feel what they're feeling. You know.
Yeah.
So what have you had canceled for you?
Well, personally, I mentioned in our intro episode, I was supposed to be directing a romantic comedy play at our local theater here.
What was the name of the show?
Yes, romantic comedy was the name of the show.
I know,
it's a romantic comedy, and it's all very funny. I haven't heard that joke yet. Ha 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 ha.
Really good script, by the way. Really good script. So when she does eventually put it on stage, please go see it. It's a fantastic script.
It's a lot of fun. Great dialogue. My set designer is amazing. The set design looks absolutely stunning, and I can't wait
for people to see it. Yeah, they're beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And the auditions for this show would have been a couple weeks ago, and then right now I would be working with my cast and my crew and my stage manager, and I miss all of them very much.
And you needed this. You did need this. It's been since July of 2017 since you sat in the directing chair, maybe?
No. I've been directing.
Last time you directed?
I've been directing.
Well, you've been coaching. You've been coaching. But have you?
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I interrupted. Sorry. That's right.
Accomplice. Yeah, I was assistant director on that. There was a couple of little one acts and a previous show that I had assistant directed. And mind everybody, I'm not here to recite my my resume.
Oh dear, you always do it.
But here's all the stuff I do. No,
you are a real actress, though. A real actress always recites their resume.
Well, they always have it available. That's definitely for sure. Link to my resume in the comments section, kids. No.
Here's a laminated version of my resume, and it smells like success. As you can tell, I created my own perfume. It's called Success by Dyani Turner. And if you turn around and you scratch that sticker right there, you can smell what I smell like when I'm on stage. Success.
Nobody wants that.
Honey, I'd wear that every day. I would.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
I'd be great at all of the Northern English accents.
Well, that was the other thing. I was also supposed to be a dialect coach for another show here in town at one of the universities, and teaching my acting classes for the talent agency out of Seattle. And all of that got shut down like that. And I understand the necessity, again, not to
and we all have
beleaguer the lily.
Who ate a bat to think. Thanks, dude, who ate that bat.
Thanks, guy. But it's been a little bit downheartening in that I feel like I don't have quite as much purpose anymore. I mean, I don't have the skills that are RNs and CNAs and home care workers and hospital attendees and all of those people who have real life knowledge. They didn't get a degree from a liberal arts school. People who are really making sure that we survive this. I don't have any of that. I was a midwife's apprentice for a year. And the last baby I helped bring into the world was a goat. So, yeah, I'm not much help there. And so now, with this much restriction, I feel a little directionless, a little without purpose. And I'm wondering how many of you out there are in similar situations where a big thing that you had a lot of responsibility for, you were very excited for, got canceled, and now if you're suffering those feelings of, well, not pointlessness, but something close to that.
Weddings. I've heard a couple of weddings being canceled.
Oh, yeah, a lot of weddings have been canceled. How upsetting. I can't imagine.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
One thing that I've kind of kept my ear to the ground on, genuinely, is graduating seniors.
Yeah, graduating seniors.
I just
Such
feel
a big
like,
ceremony.
no matter where you come from in your life, that graduating seniors like are literally missing out on one of the biggest rite of passages any American citizen can experience. And not just American citizens, but anyone anywhere who's graduating from any sort of academic achievement. But just from my personal experience, from being an American who, went to high school in Oregon, I just feel like if I had to miss out on that, like I'm looking back on like 10 years ago when I was 18, Jesus. But I'm looking back to when I was, right. But I mean, that was one of the most, and I still look back at it as one of the most important moments in my life. And I just feel like that, I don't know if other people are feeling this way, but I honestly, on my last day of work, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and she's a graduating senior. She's a host at the restaurant that I work at. And, these kids, they're so much smarter, I feel like, than I was when I was 18. But there's also something that they're missing out on that I didn't miss out on when I was 18. I don't know if every generation feels that way.
I think we do. I think everybody has something like that.
Right. But I feel like she's so much smarter. And when I was talking to her, I was sitting there and I was getting a to-go order food because they didn't want to go to the store. Because it wasn't like anything had been canceled yet, but this is like when it had just hit Seattle and things were getting serious. And we had just got that wave of people from Seattle to the inland in the valley, just when we had everyone who was rich enough to come from Seattle to the valley. We had that big wave of people who came into town to their homes that they have out here that are safer than being in the city, blah, 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 whatever. So we were really busy that weekend, the last weekend that we were open. And we were all so exhausted. None of us had had time to really process what was going on, because we really do all of us who work where I work take it really seriously. So we were focusing on keeping things going, keeping people happy, because we really are trying to create a good experience for people, keep them happy, make them a good meal, make them a good cocktail, make them leave with a smile on their face, not just because it's the restaurant industry, but because we are human beings who love to do that,
Right.
And so there is that beautiful cadence of human personality where I work like that. And I know you've been there and experienced it yourself, but really it is beautiful. And so we had just had this moment. She was just getting off her shift. I was just getting off mine. We just had this moment. And she didn't even say anything. I was the one who said it out loud. It clicked for me because my mother's a teacher. So I also think I'm always in the education sphere of, somewhere, and she was like, oh, shit, I might not be able to walk. And, the look on her face has been something that's been etched in my brain every day since we've lost our jobs, So that's been something.
So upsetting.
It's just and I just feel like that was a representation of how every child who across the country, across the world, who's just about to graduate, not just high school, but maybe even college graduates, another one of my coworkers who's graduating from the local liberal arts school here, Whitman College. And she can't walk. And I was going to go to that graduation. We were going to party it up and do the damn thing. But we can't do that now. I'm grateful to hear that she's able to go to school online and graduate, get her degree and move on to get a career. But at the same time, I'm just kind of they don't get that moment, that woohoo moment, that fuck, it's over, that we did it. I just went the last 18 years of my life, well, not 18, but however, the last, majority of their lives, they've dedicated themselves to getting this high school degree or that college degree, and they can't get that. And that's really sad.
It is sad.
So if any of you do know a graduating senior out there, write him a letter, make him a card, send him a gift, send him as much love as you can to the class of 2020. College, high school, 8th grade graduation also is a big thing. Anything, anybody that do something, if you know anyone. I know I'm going to send a couple of cards. So, what other things are being canceled that you've kind of been hearing about?
Well, apart from live theater productions and gatherings of improv groups and the kind of things that I would be at, a lot of concerts, a lot of festivals have been canceled. Let's see, I have
Patricia.
Luke Bryan, Justin Bieber, Alicia Keys, Queen and Adam Lambert got canceled.
No.
BTS, Harry Styles, the Rolling Stones, Mariah Carey, and Kiss.
Baby.
Poor Kiss.
Anyway.
One of the things that really bummed me out.
Lady Gaga was canceled too. The only reason why I know that was she's potentially going to go to her concert on my birthday, and I know she's canceled. Aerosmith is canceled. Backstreet Boys are canceled. And actually, there's something local that's canceled that I kind of want to talk about that I felt we should kind of touch on topic. It's kind of very us. Sort of circle around about theater productions that have been canceled. Our local high school at High, wonderful program out there, if I may say. Would you agree?
I would agree. A lot of my very dear and beloved friends are graduates of that theater program.
And they've been to district and state recently for their musical program. So they were doing Tough Everlasting this year. And there were a lot of graduating seniors in that production who couldn't perform their last show as high school students. And there were a lot of students who were just entering the theater realm and kind of giving up a lot of things about their life. I actually have this kind of it's actually a really sad story. You can kind of relate to this because I know we have personally both been in a show specifically, but maybe a couple of shows that you've had to. I've been in a show or two that have been canceled, that have been canceled before, devastatingly canceled. But we did get to do that final run through. And so one of my coworkers' daughters, she, just to kind of, I'll keep their names out of it just to kind of keep them a little bit, what's that word I'm looking for? Anonymous. But so one of my friend's daughters was not feeling well, and she didn't know if she was sick or what was going on, and she was just trying to take it seriously, so she stayed at home from school that day. And it was the last day of school, and her mother encouraged her to stay home from school. And they didn't know that school was going to be canceled just yet. So at the end of that day, they did indeed cancel school and all of extracurricular events for the rest of the year, including the high school events. So not only did this musical get canceled for all of these students, but there was this one student who was home sick who couldn't do the final run through with all of her senior friends and all of her. I mean, and I know this student has sacrificed a lot just to get into the musical theater realm. I know a lot of people have done that in their lives, but she used to be a dancer, big deal for this girl. She was an amazing dancer. I've seen her dance myself, at recitals locally, because how I like to go to the local recitals for holiday times and stuff. I do.
Martini.
A couple of martinis before and after girl. Am I right? Locking on back. But anyway, so she didn't get to go to the final run through. So I just wanted to take a moment, and I just want to keep her anonymous because I don't want her to be embarrassed or anything. But if everyone could take a moment and give a shout out to this wonderful student. It was her first musical in high school. She's a freshman in high school. She made friends with all the seniors. And she has made a lot of sacrifices to be in this musical theater production and program. So let's send her some love, Dyani.
Oh, big love and hugs, sweetheart. I'm so sorry you had to miss that. Big love and
hugs, baby. I'm so sorry. As fellow actors who know what it's like to not have that outlet to do what we love to do as performers. And especially with people that we love, it's especially hard to not be able to get that one last moment with them. So we love you, and we're sorry.
We are sorry. I I feel kind of like a bummer here, but I'm following up your sad story with another sad story. One of the events that was canceled also was the World Tour Bushfire Relief of musicians to raise money for those fires, for Australia. And that was going to happen this year to start building back up what got destroyed all last year with all those habitats and homes that were taken. I don't know if any of our listeners know this, the three of you who are still with us, but my father is a woodland firefighter, and his team was sent over there to Australia to help. He didn't get to. He had to stay here to do information work, but a lot of his friends and coworkers were sent and helped put out some of those fires. And so I know personally a few of the people who suffered from that enormous tragedy, now suffering from this one. And that really,
a couple of close friends of mine
had
to come back from Australia, not because of the fires, but they were there and they were talking about how the entire society was dealing with the virus. And it's pretty rough stuff. So
a lot of devastation.
That breaks my heart.
Yeah, and I mean, this isn't to say that we shouldn't still do everything we can to help. I mean, just because we don't get to go to a super fun concert with names like Billie Eilish and Mumford and Sons. I mean, we can still
celebrate our birthday.
Or celebrate our birthday.
Or conduct and direct a musical, or perform on stage, or make a drink.
Make a drink. That is to say, just because we can't go to those benefit concerts or productions that the proceeds go to a good cause, we can still help. I'm still planning on sending donations to a couple of those charities. Not as much as I would like, of course. I got laid off from my day job, so I got to make sure I can still eat. But whatever spare I have is going to go to those folks who really need the help. And them also. I have a few charities in mind, but you guys as well. I know it's really hard. We have to tighten our belts a little bit because of a giant recession happening. I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah. And it's going to be tough, but just make sure that when you're making sure that your unit survives, make sure that you're looking out for our friends on the other side as well, and spare a thought and a penny if you can.
Just a thought. If you're not religious, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you can just spare as much positive energy as you can, please do so. A penny, a thought, a hug, a virtual
If nothing else, please do it for spite. Spite someone off by being a good person and
the real
doing
American way. Oh, my dear. I know I'm going to be donating to the Wahai Music Boosters myself, just to kind of keep it local. I know those kids are, I don't know what's going to happen, but I still want there to be art. So I donate to the Music Boosters every year, but I'm going to donate again a second time this year, even though I didn't go to the high school. But I just, as a local performer, as a local, community member, it's something that I take very seriously. So I will be donating to the Wahai Music Boosters.
You're such a booster for a culture, Jimmy. Oh my goodness.
The kids, the children are our future.
Technically, yes.
Well, my friends, this morning's coming to a bit of a close. It's almost 11 o'clock for you guys.
Getting a little hungry.
Listening later. Yeah.
Need some
snackage. For those of you who are listening at a different time, I don't care what time it is. We're still going to end this podcast with a bit of a positive note. And we kind of have a cool book. Dyani, kind of explain it to them. Tell them about our book.
So, last Christmas, my dear and beloved grandmother gave me a book called The Movie Book of Answers. And the premise behind this book is, it's so cute. You hold the closed book in your hand on your lap, which I am doing. I know you can't see, but you just have to trust me, guys. You take
faith, hope, trust, and pixie dust. That's all you need here.
Then take 10 or 15 seconds to concentrate on the question. The question we're going to be concentrating on today, well, I will, Jimmy's going to help, is what should we bear in mind? Yes, what should we bear in mind this week? And then, this gets a little hokey, so bear with me. While visualizing or speaking your question one at a time, place one hand palm down on the book's front cover and stroke the edge of the pages back and forth.
Oh,
you're just really convincing the book. Please give me something good.
That book.
And then when you sense the time is right, open the book and there will be your answer. So you have to wait with me while I sense it if it's right.
Okay, Cleopatra, let's do this.
So we're holding the book and we're concentrating.
Okay.
What should we
say the question out loud? Right.
What?
Oh, okay.
What should we bear in mind this week?
What should we bear in mind this week? Well, we talked about Tiger King. We talked about cancellations. So I guess what we can bear in mind this week is, how about we bear in mind that we need to relate and extend a hand and an olive branch and a love out to those who are missing out on things that have been canceled for them this week.
Would you like to hear what the book says now that I've sensed the time is right?
Yes.
The page that opened while thinking about what we should bear in mind this week is actually from The Wizard of Oz, spoken by Dorothy. What you're looking for is in your own backyard. And I think that can be very true for a lot of us, since our backyard is about as far away from the house as we can go. So what I'm going to take away from that is go outside, get some vitamin D. Go smell the flower that may or may not be growing from the other side of your neighbor's fence. Go have a peek through the lawn, make some friends with ants. I mean, maybe not. Just be
have an
outside.
extensive conversation with a worm, and not one on the internet. Well, that's interesting.
Walk around barefoot. Walk around barefoot.
Ground yourself, dear. Ground yourself.
Yes.
That's interesting. For me, I mean, I take something a little bit differently from that.
Oh, do you? Look how shocked I am.
Can you repeat the quote for me one more time in our listeners?
Do I need to do it in Dorothy's voice?
Oh my God! Please, for the love of Christ.
What you're looking for is in your own backyard.
That's pretty good, actually. Very olive oil meets Dorothy. I'm into it.
We're not here to judge my characterizations, Jimmy.
I feel like what you're looking for is in your backyard is more so saying that if you're looking for that human connection, if you're looking for that relatability, if you're looking for something that you can really feel if you're alone in this quarantine, or if you feel like you're alone in this quarantine, even though you're surrounded by people who aren't listening to you, just do the best that you can to really realize that what you honestly are looking for in your own backyard. There is somebody out there who loves you. There is somebody out there who wants to listen to what you're feeling. There is somebody out there who wants to talk to you about this COVID-19 crisis experience that you are personally having. And it's somebody that you do know. It's somebody that wants to listen to you. But it's not just somebody that wants to listen to you. It's somebody who needs you. It's somebody who also needs you just as much as you need them. Kind of like me and Dyani.
Thank goodness you're here.
Yeah, honestly, sweetheart, I'm so grateful for you. And I love you so much. And I'm so great we're doing this project together. And God, if anybody's listening at this point, I'm grateful for you too.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate you.
We really love you. But really, Dyani, I'm grateful for you for helping me through this sort of. I've never been so secluded in my life, to be completely honest. I mean, I've been secluded socially. But I mean, seriously, I really mean this. Like, I appreciate you so much. I don't mean to get all sassy, but I appreciate you.
Oh.
And I just wanted you to know that and take the time and tell you that.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well, I appreciate you so much also. I mean, I have no one but the dog to talk to all day, and he's the sweetest, but he's just not a great conversationalist, if you know what I mean.
For sure.
I appreciate you being here for me to bounce my thoughts and feelings off of, and hold space for me in your heart. It's so good of you to do that.
Oh, Well, hey, let's take a moment to thank our listeners. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. We hope you're doing okay, and we miss you, and we hope to see you soon. But if not, we'll at least talk to you next week.
So imagine us giving you a big old virtual hug right now.
Big virtual squeezers.
Close your eyes. Feel my big hug, darling. Do you feel my arm squeezing? Do you understand that I love you? Anyway.
All right. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Say bye, Jimmy.
Bye, Jimmy.
Bye, Jimmy. We'll see you soon. Love you.
Well, you say bye, Dyani.
Bye, Dyani.
We're lame. All right. I love you.
I love you too.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you next week.
Okay. Will do.
And hey, talk to you all next week.
We'll see you then.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.